Hi friends, I'm very excited to come to you with my second of 3 March TBR Pile of Possibility videos. So for the second TBR is inspired by the Irish Readathon, and that is hosted by Leanne at Leanne Rose and Ava at Words of Clover. And I'm going to tell you about some books, these right here, and they may or may not get read during March. No pressure, just like there's no pressure for the first video that was middle grade March TBR, which I'll link below. I will still be reading. I think I've got 3 books to read for the booktube prize. 2 are on audio and 1 is physical, so that'll be good. That'll be good. And then some of middle grade I might find on audio, and Irish I might find on audio as well. So there's things that I need to get done, and then everything else will kind of be more of a mood reading things. So the booktube prize are definites, and my buddy read. I have a buddy read that I'll be telling you about in my March TBR video number 3, which will be coming out probably Friday. So make sure you're subscribed so you see that. So the prompts for the Irish Readathon this year, they're not doing a group read. So the first prompt is the prompt that they have every year, which is to read a book with green on the cover. And there's plenty, like I'm gonna go through all these books that I have over here, and there's multiple that have green on the cover. Number 2 is an Irish book with mythology and folklore. So this one is hard for me because I don't know that much about Irish mythology and folklore. I might look into if I can find an audiobook or something like that. But it's also kind of out of my wheelhouse for like current reads. So that one I had a hard time with. We'll come back to that throughout the month. Maybe I'll try and find something. The third prompt is an Irish book by a person of color or LGBT plus author. So for these, I got a couple books out from the library. The first one is Twisted by Emma Dobry, The Tangled History of Black Hair Culture. I'm excited to read this. I think in the UK it's called Don't Touch My Hair, I think. Emma Dobry can tell you the first time she chemically straightened her hair. She can describe the smell, the atmosphere of the salon, and her mix of emotions when she saw her normally kinky tresses fall down her shoulders. For as long as Emma can remember, her hair has been a source of insecurity, shame, and from strangers and family alike, discrimination, and she is not alone. And then she goes into that history. I also have on audio What White People Can Do Next, which is also by Emma Dobry, that I'm excited to listen to. And then I'm also going to read My Name is Leon by Kit DeWall. I think this is a middle grade too, so this would count for middle grade, is it? I think it is. Channeling the power of Emma Donohue's Room and the prose of Vanessa Diffenbaugh's The Language of Flowers. My Name is Leon is a vivid, tender, and uplifting story about a young boy hoping to reunite with his brother after they've been separated by the foster care system. So it's about 2 brothers in the foster care system. So I'm looking forward to reading that. Prompt 4 is to read an Irish book that's won an award. So, did my research. I think Milkman won the Booker Prize in 2018. This is by Anna Burns. In an unnamed city, middle sister stands out for the wrong reasons. She reads while walking for one, and she's been taking French night classes downtown. So when a local paramilitary named Milkman begins pursuing her, she suddenly becomes interesting, the last thing she ever wanted to be. I've had this on my TBR for several years, and I really want to get to it this year. And then the other one I have is Prophet Song by Paul Lynch. This won the Booker 2023. I've also had this one on my shelf. I mean, I bought it in hardback, so yeah, it's been a while. On a dark, wet evening in Dublin, scientist and mother of four, Ethla, I'm so bad at Irish names, Eilish, I think it's Eilish, Stack answers her front door to find the GNSB on her step. Two officers from Ireland's newly formed secret police are here to interrogate her husband, a trade unionist. Ireland is falling apart. The country is in the grip of a government turning towards tyranny, and when her husband disappears, Eilish finds herself caught within the nightmare logic of a society that is quickly unraveling. Sounds familiar. So those are two options for that one. And then the fifth prompt is to read a book that fulfills a previous year's prompts. And so go to Leanne Rose's channel, and she'll have the list of all the prompts. I think APHIS does too. Yeah, so go, I'll link them below, like I said, and you can check out the prompts from previous years. So one of them, I kind of wrote down all the possibilities. So I'm not going to read all these books. These are just possibilities. One of them is to read an Irish nonfiction book. I have a couple of options. Let me get them all out so I can tell you about them. So the first one is Thin Places, A Natural History of Healing and Home by Carrie Nadocarte. I don't have that Irish. I'm bad at Irish. This is about Carrie, who's born in Derry, on the border of the north and south of Ireland at the height of the Troubles. One parent was Catholic, the other Protestant. In the space of 1 year, they were forced out of 2 homes. When she was 11, a homemade bomb was thrown through her bedroom window. Terror was in the very fabric of the city, and for families who fell between the cracks of sectarian identity, it seemed there was no escape. So you know me, I always like a good memoir, and it is an absolutely gorgeous cover. Then I also have this memoir that I have had on my shelves for way too long. This is Diary of a Young Naturalist by Dara McNulty. This is about a teenager who is also autistic, and he is writing about being uprooted, coping with being uprooted from his home, school, and his mental health is struggling, all while pursuing his life as a conservationist and environmental activist. So I really want to get to that one too. And then this one is We Don't Know Ourselves, A Personal History of Modern Ireland by Fintan O'Toole. I started this on audio like 2 years ago and did not finish it. Don't have access to the audiobook anymore, but I do have the hard copy, so I want to get back into this. Another prompt that I was thinking about is a book published in the last 2 years. This is one that was on the new books shelf at my library. This is called Bright I Burn by Molly Aitken. In the 13th century, a woman with power is a woman to be feared. Alice, the daughter of a wealthy innkeeper in Kilkenny, grows up watching her mother wither under the constraints of family responsibility, and she vows that she will never suffer the same fate. In time, she discovers she has a flair for making money and takes her father's flourishing business to new heights. But as her riches and stature grow, so too do rumors about her private life. By the time she marries her fourth husband, the previous three have died. A storm of local gossip and resentment culminates in a life-threatening accusation. And so this was published in 2024. It also has green on the cover. So, like I said, lots of them have green on the cover. Then we've got Read an Irish Classic, which I have a couple, but I would like to read Dubliners by James Joyce. It's 15 stories about a community of mesmerizing, humorous, and haunting characters, a group portrait. The interactions among them form one long meditation on the human condition, culminating with The Dead, one of Joyce's most graceful compositions. So that's the option for classics. A book by a female author. So I've got two of those. I'm trying to read all of Maggie O'Farrell. This Must Be the Place. A reclusive former film star living in the wilds of Ireland, Claudette Wells thinks nothing of firing a gun if strangers get too close to her house. Why is she so fiercely protective of her privacy, and what made her disappear at the height of her cinematic fame? Her husband Daniel, reeling from a discovery about a woman he last saw 20 years ago, is about to make an exit of his own. Is it a journey that will send him off course, far from home? Will his love for Claudette be enough to bring him back? So I'm really curious about that one. And then I also have, I have two Sally Rooney's that I own that I have not read. I've only read Normal People, but I definitely want to try more. Her most recent intermezzo I'm saving for a read-along, a reading challenge that's going on, and I'll talk more about that when it comes up. But this is Beautiful World, Where Are You? Alice, a novelist, meets Felix, who works in a warehouse, and asks him if he'd like to travel to Rome with her. In Dublin, her best friend Eileen is getting over a breakup and slips back into flirting with Simon, a man she's known since childhood. Alex, Felix, Eileen, and Simon are still young, but life is catching up with them. So, going through their lives. And then there's one that is a book by... there's several authors that they list, specific authors, and I know Leanne loves Marian Keyes. So I'd like to read The Mystery of Mercy Close, which is another one of the Walsh sisters. Helen Walsh doesn't believe in fear. It's just a thing invented by men to get all the money and good jobs, and yet she's sinking. Her work as a private investigator has dried up. Her flat has been repossessed. Now some old demons have resurfaced. And then her ex-boyfriend shows up with a missing person case, and things go from there. So, very excited to get back to Marian Keyes. That's a lot of Irish books. I will not read them all, but I hope to read some of them. Are you participating in the Irish Readathon? Let me know in the comments below what you might be reading. I hope y'all are doing well, and I will see you very soon. Bye.